Yeah, we bring reviews of your house, talk to our dudes of your house. I bring my views of your house, wrestling truths of your house. We talk to you in your house, we keeps it cool in your house, we keeps it cool in your house. I'm spitting truths in your house. Yes, Mark's hating on his fans, Becky Nish on the man. Play with two like a lion, household a dangerous alliance. I am a diamond like Cody, and I'm overcoming like Kobe. No, they cannot hold me. Come listen, I'm hosting, critiquing, I'm boasting. This wrestling I'm knowing.
This area is under a level 2 quarantine. Please limit your contact with other personnel as much as possible.
This is Austin Theory of Evolve, and you're listening to the In Your House podcast.
This is NXT's Dominic Dijakovic, and you are listening to the In Your House podcast.
This is AEW's Darby Allin, and you're listening to In Your House podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your House, starring Alakan House. This is the People's Podcast. Hey guys, you already know who it is. It's your boy Con, ready to get at work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. That is what we do, and hey, we love it. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. And ooh, where is the clock? I'm checking the time because last time that I checked, In Your House was the hottest professional wrestling podcast in the Midwest, because we hit them with that work round the clock. You guys all ready know what it is, and the director is back in your house. And man, it's been a couple weeks since we dropped an episode. We've been on hiatus for a little bit, didn't really announce it, but we took a little time off, man, let everybody get their heads straight, and I'm working a lot more at my job, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But In Your House isn't gone, man. We're still here. This is we're coming up on the new season of In Your House. How about that? That's what we're gonna call it, the new season 2 of In Your House. There you go. That's what we're gonna call it. This is gonna be a short episode, guys. I got my kids. They're ready to go outside and play, and my son, he wants to play some video games, and me and him have been jersey collecting. He's a huge NBA fan, and when I was younger, I wore a lot of basketball jerseys, and now he's kind of adopted the same style. So we're gonna be doing that and bonding, and my daughter's wanting to go outside and play, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. We're gonna do a little address. We're gonna address the household here, but before we do that, man, it's been a sad week in wrestling, man. Been a sad week in wrestling. Of course, it's no secret if you're a wrestling fan that we lost Shad Gaspard of Crime Time, and the circumstances. You guys all know the circumstances as far as what happened when he was out at the beach with his son, and fatherly decision that he made to have the lifeguards save his son first, which I have the utmost respect for, being a parent, and any real parent would have done the same. I'm not gonna really dig too much into it. I mean, if you want my in-depth thoughts on it, I mean, you can go over and listen to Pope's Point of View. That episode came out today, where myself and the Pope Elijah Burke, you guys know him, current NWA star and former WWE and TNA star. We talked on that, and he told a lot of stories because he had a personal relationship with Shad Gaspard. I myself only saw Shad from the fans' perspective and saw him as, you know, a member of Crime Time, but still, that doesn't take away the fact that the man did a very heroic act in his final moments, and a lot of people who I saw who had known him have had a lot of good interactions with him. So rest in peace to Shad Gaspard, and man, it's a sad situation. But I do see that the GoFundMe for his memorial services have been blowing up from a lot of different wrestlers in the business: Chris Jericho, Cody, Tony Khan, several others, and that's amazing, man. That's amazing. Looked like what might have been John Cena, possibly, who donated, that is, $40,000. He only put CTC RIP, and if you remember, there was alliance between Crime Time and John Cena back in 2008, where they were calling themselves CTC, Crime Time C Nation, I do believe is what it stood for. So if he did do that, John Cena, hats off to you, man. Seriously, that's very cool. But you know, another thing that happened was Hana Kimura passed away, took her own life, man, because of some cyber bullying from a reality show that she was on, and people had opinions as far as the reality show, and I was not familiar with her work as a wrestler. I think she worked for the Stardom promotion. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm just going off the top of my head, talking, riffing, and I just felt like talking. So please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. I haven't been able to do the research. I'm just talking. But if you know, cyberbullying is a problem, man. It's such a huge problem, and everybody's gonna come out and say, "Oh, we should all be kind to each other. We should be kind to each other," and then jump on another post and tell somebody they need to shut up, or they think their opinion is stupid, and this and that. It's weird, man. It's weird. And instead of just saying we should practice being better to each other and being kinder to each other, how about we just do it? Because it's easy when these type of situations happen to say, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. But we need to put action behind our words. That's so important. And just saying that we need to be better isn't being better. It's just saying that we need to be better. Being better and doing better comes from within. It comes from a place of self-reflection and understanding your faults and your flaws and understanding what you need to do to be a better person. Anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts are very real, and it's something that people deal with regularly, on a regular basis. And if you don't deal with that, it's easy to not know what it's like, and it's easy to not know what it feels like. And it's something that we have to be really honest with ourselves about as far as mental health. We've got to take these things seriously. And I think that slowly there has been better awareness of mental health, but you never really know, man. You never really know. Sometimes it's the happiest people that are truly the saddest. And it makes sense, because those happy people, when they deal with the sadness and they deal with the depression, they deal with it on their own. They don't confide in anybody because they don't want to seem like they're being a burden to another person. They don't want somebody to be sad for them. And trust me, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. And it's a hard feeling, man. It is such a hard feeling. And you don't want to burden people. You don't want, you see, it feels like if you tell people how you feel inside, you're inconveniencing, that's it. You're inconveniencing them. I was trying to find the words. You're inconveniencing them, and it's a hard thing to shake. It's a hard feeling to shake, to get out of the mindset of, I have this thing that I need to talk out, but I don't want to get on somebody's nerves, or I don't want to inconvenience them, and then you just don't. You don't talk about it, and it's hard, man. It's hard. I've dealt with it. I know several other people have too, but you're not an inconvenience. You're not. You matter. You know. You matter. Everybody matters, and if there's something that don't feel right, that don't seem right, talk it out, hash it out, figure out a way to get the, therapy gets a bad rap because, if you go see a therapist, you're the crazy person. No, therapy is helpful. You have all these crazy thoughts in your head. It's just, and it's everywhere, a million different thoughts. But if you find somebody to talk to, a therapist, somebody, it helps hash those thoughts out. It helps you make sense of these feelings that you're having, and your feelings matter. Your feelings are valid. And there's so many people that feel like in their mind that their feelings don't matter. Their feelings are not valid, and they are. And you have to realize that. And whether you're talking to a family member or a friend or a therapist, there has to be somebody that lets you know you matter. You absolutely matter. And it's not a waste of time. It's not a waste to talk these things out with somebody. Please, I'm begging you guys, if you ever feel that way, find somebody, find me, find Hutch, find Docs. We all know how it feels. And I'm lucky to have the people that I have in my life. I have an amazing support system. But when I didn't, and I felt alone, those suicidal thoughts, they crept in. This was years and years ago. I haven't felt that way in so long, but I didn't have the support system that I have now. And when you don't have that, it's easy to get lost in your thoughts and you drown, bro. And I just hate to see it for anybody. And I hated to see it for this young lady, 22 years of age. Stop the cyberbullying, man. There's social media has for social media was supposed to be a great exchange of ideas and a way to keep in contact, and now it's become such a negative, evil thing, in the wrong hands, of course. But I mean, you can go to Twitter or even Facebook or anywhere, and if you hit the wrong community or wrong group of people, I mean, they're gonna say some just hurtful things. And guys, words hurt. They do. They linger, bro. You know what I mean? Think about how good you feel when somebody builds you up, when somebody says that you did something right, when somebody says that you made the right move. Think about how good you feel when you hear that. Well, think about how bad you feel when somebody tells you that you don't matter, that you deserve to be off this planet, that you're terrible, you're this and you're that. It matters. It matters, dog. And we just got to be kinder with the words that we use, and that is the problem, is that people just go on social media and say whatever that they want to say, and they sit behind the keyboard, and they're protected by the distance between your phone and their phone, or your phone and their keyboard, or whatever. And the thing about it is, these people that say these awful, terrible things on the internet, they would never say it to half these people's face. They wouldn't, man. They wouldn't. So, and I don't want to get too deep into that. I just wanted to say that cyberbullying has got to stop. And the only reason it's as rampant as it is, in my opinion, and I'm going to put my opinion out there, because people say things because they aren't suffering the consequences of getting their ass beat for saying the stupid thing. Because if you say, listen, if I'm a troll and I get on the internet and I say, I don't know, first name that comes to my mind, I don't know, John Cena. I guess John Cena. We'll just say John Cena. And I call John Cena up out his name and say he's terrible, he's this and he's that, blah, blah, on the internet. If he was right there in front of me and I said these hateful things, he'd whoop my ass. And he, you know, maybe John Cena wouldn't, you know, because John Cena's a very, very nice person. But, you know, if I pushed him far enough and said some crazy stuff like what people say on the internet, he'd probably whoop my ass. And if there's fear of an ass whooping, you're not gonna say that in front of somebody's presence. So, you know, rest in peace to this young lady, man. We gotta do better. We gotta be better people. But this isn't about John Cena. It's not about that. It's about this young lady, and a 22-year-old life is, you know, no longer here with us. Hana Kimura, once again, not familiar with any of her work, but from what I understand, was a glorious soul, very talented, and now taken from us far too soon. And, you know, there's really no easy segue from that, so I'm not going to try to, out of respect. Rest in peace to Hana Kimura, and rest in peace to Shad Gaspard. But now, you know, I'm gonna do a little house meeting. No, not house meeting. We're talking about house meeting. That's when we do a Q&A. We're not doing a house meeting. We're gonna do a household address. My apologies, but yeah, we're gonna do a little household address. And one big thing that I'm super excited about to talk about on this thing is it's the In Your House Fantasy Draft. We're going to be doing that. That's going to be very, very cool. I'm looking to put together a pool. I'm about 35 wrestlers in. I'm looking to do 40 or 50 wrestlers, which would give me 4 or 5 federations between, and we already got 3 teams, me and my wife, Miss Fabulosity, and then Hutch and Docs are going to be a team. And then a reporter, Drake Kennedy, and the Controversial Mermaid Area are also going to be a team. They're going to be a promotion. And we're going to find 1 or 2 more, maybe different podcasts. I put some out there on social media looking for different podcasts to try to link up local. They got to be local to the area because they have to be familiar with the local talent, because we're not drafting people from AEW. We're not drafting people from WWE. We're only drafting people from the local independent wrestling scene. And that's going to be very cool and very fun. I'm very, very excited about it. It's going to be a great series that we do here at In Your House. I'm super amped up about that. Memorial Day, I'm looking to do the draft lottery to figure out the placement of who's going to be picking 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and of course that coveted number 1 spot. So that's going to be really cool and really fun, and I'm super excited about that because I've really needed something to really amp me up and get me excited. Get me excited about doing the podcast again, because the only podcast I've been doing is Popes, and it's been great. I mean, I've had a blast doing that. But I want to get back to doing In Your House. You know, that's what we're gonna do this new season. You know, and I know I've been busy, but I've really put a lot of thought, and I've really put a lot of elbow grease, I guess, into this draft. And I've got a huge list. Like I said, about 35 wrestlers right now, looking to do 40 or 50. And I'm really putting this together, and there's some excitement. There's some excitement amongst the wrestlers about doing this, and there's some excitement amongst some of the households, some of the fans. People have messaged me saying, "Oh, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to hear this." It's going to be fun, guys. It's going to be so fun. I'm really excited to give it to you guys, and that's going to be excellent, super excellent. You know, so we're going to be doing that. I would have had Hutch on here with me, but he's not. He's feeling a little under the weather. Hope we don't got that Rona. But he was feeling a little under the weather, so he opted out of this episode, which is fine. He's been on so many of them. That's my dog. He's always, been ride or die for the show forever. But I want to preview Double or Nothing a little bit on this show, but we want to talk about the results. We want to talk about how Double or Nothing went, and that's going to come on the second half of this episode here, where I talk a little bit of Double or Nothing. And before I do that, I had a chance to watch to sit down and watch The Dark Side of the Ring for Owen Hart, and man, was that quite the watch. I mean, it really was. And man, all those details. There was so much that I didn't know, as far as why his wife had an issue with, because I didn't dig that deep into it, but she was very concerned as far as how he was being taken down into the into the ring the night that it happened at Over the Edge. And there was so much that I didn't know about him, as far as he didn't even really want to wrestle. He really wanted to be a family man. He kind of wanted settled into it, but he kind of wrestled because he wanted to bond with his dad, which is beautiful. That's cool, man. That's awesome. And he just was he was a natural at wrestling. He was a natural talent. And I didn't watch too much Owen Hart, as far because I saw a few years of him. I'd say about 2, maybe 3 years of Owen Hart at that time when I was younger, and he was a standout. He was very cool, but it's crazy to me that he never even wanted to wrestle. And I'm just kind of grazing over this a little bit, but I really think that they did a good job on that documentary, because that it enlightened me on a lot of things that I didn't know. And it was cool that Chris Jericho was the narrator for it. That was pretty awesome. And it just really seems like, to me, at that time, the WWF cheaped out on getting the right equipment together to get him from that ceiling down to the ground. That's what it seems like. That's what I took from the documentary. And it's crazy to me how prominently featured Martha was, his wife, because she has been so protective of Owen's legacy, and of course she's not letting WWE anywhere near it, because she's the one who feels in her heart of hearts that they were responsible for his death. And how is she wrong? It featured D'Lo Brown in there, JR was in it, Jim Cornette, controversial Jim Cornette, Godfather, a lot of different names. But she blames WWE for Owen's death, basically, accusing the company of hiring unqualified stunt professionals to rig the setup for a stunt that would have, that had him lowered from the rafters and ultimately end his life. And it's crazy to me, because Jim Cornette kind of said it, and it just sickened him, and that they continued the show after it was done, because the show must go on. But I think that it was JR. JR said, I think it was Kevin Dunn that came in his ears, and he was like, he's like, keep him updated on what's going on. And JR was like, you're not giving me any updatable information. And then he finally got an update, and he said, well, he's dead. You go on in 3, you go on in 10, 9. And I'm like, oh man, like, I was just disgusted, man. I personally was disgusted in that. And you don't stop the show, you keep everything going. It's just inhumane to me, and I love wrestling, but at the end of the day, it's it's a universe that is based on make-believe. You know, we are playing roles. We are, you know, portraying characters. This was not, this fantasy universe was not worth continuing going on for when a man really died, you know. And I really don't care if that upsets you or you don't like what I said, because, oh, the business side of things, listen, man, forget the business side of things. A man died, okay? A man died. I don't want to hear anything about the business side of things, okay? Because it's a business side of things on a business that is based on fiction. These things aren't real. It's like a television show. It's like a movie. It doesn't need to continue. But that's a whole other thing. But it was, I mean, as much as it was a stomach-turning watch in some aspects, and to see D'Lo Brown almost break down the way that he did, it was informative, and it was a good watch, and it kept me watching. And for me, in my ADD heart and mind, I guess, you know, that's what I want to see. And it really made me know more about Owen and know more about Martha's fight, you know, and to see how his kids have come up and they've become just well-rounded young people, you know, and that's great, you know. His son loves trains, and his son is, I mean, I guess he's a lawyer now. That, you mean, his kids are doing all right for themselves, you know. But I just wanted to throw it out there and throw in there that I watched that Dark Side of the Ring because I missed so many others, and I also wanna do an episode talking about The Last Ride, so hopefully that'll be coming too, and I gotta catch up on that, and I will. You know, I got a little bit of time with Memorial Day weekend here, and I'll be watching Double or Nothing tonight with my wife after I spend some time with the kids. They won't sit down and watch wrestling, but me and the wife will, so we'll sit down and watch it. And that's a good segue because I'm going to go ahead. We're going to talk about the sponsor. And when we come back, I'll preview a little bit of Double or Nothing. Hey guys, this is the director, Con House, of In Your House, and this episode is sponsored by Podcorn. Podcorn is a marketplace connecting podcasters to amazing podcast sponsorship opportunities such as host read ads, interview segments, topical discussions, and more. With Podcorn, there is no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on the platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without any exclusivities. You never give up any rights to your podcast, and Podcorn is here to support you at every step to ensure you're protected and compensated for the work that you do for brands. The marketplace mission is to give podcasters transparency, creative control and freedom, and full control of how and when they monetize. So check the show notes on this episode and you will see a link to www.podcorn.com/podcasters. But now it's time to get back to In Your House. Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House with the director, Con House, and now we're going to talk a little bit about Double or Nothing tonight's show. We're going to drop this episode here for the household Saturday afternoon, so you guys will be able to listen to this before Double or Nothing airs tonight, which I wanted to do that. No point in previewing Double or Nothing after the show, right? I mean, so I got to drop it today. But it seems like there's a lot of interesting matches there. There's a lot that I'm interested in. You know, there is going to be a little buy-in match there between the Best Friends and the Private Party, number one contendership. That's a good idea, man. Really like that. I really like that. You know, if you're going to do a buy-in, make the match matter. Don't do it for no reason, you know. And now the Best Friends are going to have a match against the Private Party for the number one contendership AEW Tag Team Champions, which are currently Kenny Omega and Adam Page, who recently returned on Dynamite. But that'll be a good match, and that should be fun to watch. I mean, that should be a banger between those two teams. I always enjoy watching Private Party. I like Best Friends, but Private Party, they're exciting to watch. Just so much fun flying around, seeing the things they do. The kids got some motors, that's for doggone sure. They're awesome. I really enjoy watching them. Well, we were supposed to see Dr. Britt Baker go up against Chris Statlander, but I from what I understand, and once again, correct me if I'm wrong, this is just based on what I've read, Dr. Britt Baker could be out for quite some time with the torn ACL after a spot that saw them throwing Nyla Rose getting thrown onto her, and she got hurt. It's terrible. Dr. Britt Baker was starting to find her groove, I was pretty critical of her when she first came in because I just thought she couldn't talk and that she didn't have a personality. But she was determined to get that dentist thing over, and she started it as a heel. And she would remind you constantly that, hey, she's a dentist. And I am very afraid of dentists now because I just had my teeth pulled, my wisdom teeth pulled, all 4 of them, and I don't want to see a dentist. But even though I have a phobia of dentists now, I didn't want to see Britt Baker go out like this. You never want to see a wrestler get injured, and especially when she was starting to hit her stride. So now it's going to be super bad. Penelope Ford going up against the Galaxy's greatest alien, Chris Statlander. Is there something on the line there? Is there a number 1 contenders match? Somebody let me know. I do want to know. But that match should be interesting. I do like Chris Statlander. Super, super talented. I've been a huge fan of her. And my man Hutch, I don't think he's a huge fan of the gimmick, but I am though. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the gimmick. I like the alien thing. It's different. It's fun. It's a character. I like how she boops people like E.T. It's pretty cool. So that's fun. But I do believe that this is just it's just a singles match. I'm not gonna go over every single match because there's just no point in it right now. But one match, I mean, there's several matches I'm interested in. What am I talking about? But if you guys know me, if you guys know the director, you guys know that I'm a sucker for a ladder match. It's my favorite match. I love ladder matches. I do. And you get a casino ladder match for a future AEW World Championship opportunity with Darby Allin, Colt Cabana, Orange Cassidy. Ooh, my God, the list. Joey Janela, who's recently added. Scorpio Sky, Kip Sabian, Superbad, Frankie Kazarian, Luchasaurus, and a mystery opponent. Now, I don't know who that mystery opponent is. I believe Brian Cage was just cleared to return, to come and be in some action. So it might be Brian Cage, who knows? I could not wager to tell you who's going to win this match. But I don't care. I don't care. I'm just going to be happy to sit there and watch the match. It's going to be fun. And I love a good ladder match. And I expect this to be better than the spectacle that was Money in the Bank. I just think it's going to be better. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this match goes. I will say this, though. I'm a little bit upset that Rey Fenix isn't going to be in it because of the injury. Joey Janela is going to be in it, and I just think that Rey Fenix would translate better in a ladder match. Nothing against Joey Janela, but I'm just not, Joey Janela don't do it for me. He just doesn't. I'm glad, I got no issue with homie, but I'm not a fan of what he does. He just don't jump off the screen to me. If you like him, cool. That's what's up. But I'm just not that huge of a fan. The Stadium Stampede match, that should be interesting. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I'm not sure if they explained the rules. If they did, hey, that's on me for not paying attention. But it's going to be Matt Hardy and the Elite. That's Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and the Jacksons going up against the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho and the Squad, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz. Whatever this is, it's probably going to be ugly, and it's probably going to be a big brawl, and I'm most definitely going to be here for it. So that'll be fun and interesting, and I'll definitely check that out, whatever that mess is. The champion Nyla Rose, women's champion, is going to go up against Shida, Hikaru Shida, and Shida's really starting to grow on me. It seems like she's growing on a lot of other people. Who knows? Maybe it's time for us to put the strap on her. It's been a very quiet title reign for Nyla Rose. I mean, I don't got no issue with Nyla Rose either. And it's not all her fault why the title reign hasn't been impressive. It just hasn't. It's just been the title reign. So maybe they're going to give her more time to see what she can do. But also, they might put it on Shida because Shida's starting to heat up a little bit. Cody is going to go up against Lance Archer with Arn Anderson and Jake Roberts for the AEW TNT Championship. Arn and Jake should be ringside, and that's going to be interesting. I really like the exchange that they had on Dynamite. That was pretty good. Did anybody notice that old Jake had his WWE Hall of Fame ring on an AEW program? Whoa! And some people try to make a big deal out of it, but it's whatever. At least he didn't sell it for drugs or alcohol or anything like that. He kept it because you should keep that type of stuff, those mementos. So that's cool. Most definitely. But that match is going to be interesting. We get to see Iron Mike Tyson. He's going to be presenting the title. And that's going to be very, very cool because Iron Mike is hot right now. He's getting back in great shape. He's got a fight coming up, I think a celebrity fight. And that's going to be cool. I mean, because everybody's talking about Mike Tyson right now, about his resurgence at 53 years old. So good on AEW to bring him on. It's going to be very cool seeing Iron Mike in a professional wrestling ring once again. Of course, he helped spark the Attitude Era, so that's going to be awesome. And who knows, he might get in some altercations tonight. Hey, maybe with Lance Archer. It was kind of teased by Jake. He said that his monster would knock out Mike Tyson if he had to. I don't know, bruh. He's the baddest man on the planet. But for me, it's going to be interesting to see that TNT Championship. I think they've hid the design for a while. At least I haven't seen it, and I want to see how cool it is. I think it's cool that TNT has got behind AEW so much that they were cool with letting them name the title after their program. So that's going to be interesting. Another match, MJF versus Jungle Boy, just a kind of a thrown together match, and you're going to have that. It's going to happen, but I think it's going to be interesting. They've tried to push it, with MJF dealing with not Jungle Boy, that is, but Marco Stunt, and they've tried to make something out of it, even though it just kind of came out a few weeks ago in Thin Blue Air, out of the blue. But they're trying to do something with it. MJF, he is a heel's heel, and this is going to be his journey up the card. So I'm interested to see where it goes, and it's like I said, it's going to be a good show. And then the championship match, Dean Ambrose is going to be going up against Luke Harper. Oh, wait a minute, no, Oop, I'm wrong now. No, that's Jon Moxley going up against Brody Lee. In case you guys didn't notice, I did that on purpose. That was their WWE names. But it's crazy that a WWE mid-card match is the championship match for AEW. WWE loyalists are going to crap all over that, and they're going to say, "Oh, well, this mid-card thing is their main event." Well, you could be right. You might be right. I mean, I'm not super excited for the match. I mean, it's definitely not. Quite honestly. On that card, I'm looking at the card right now. I got it right here in front of me. It's not even the top 3 match I'm looking forward to be honest with you, bro. It's about number 4. And that's not to say that I'm not going to sit down and watch it, and it's probably going to be good, and I'm probably going to enjoy it. But as far as hype goes, it's not top 3 for me on this card. It'll probably be good, but this whole Brody Lee thing, oh boy, your boy Khan's gonna catch some heat for having an opinion. No, but I'm just I've been watching this Brody Lee thing for a while, And as quick as he shot up the card, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I mean, where's Evil Uno? You know, where's Stu Grayson? It's cool. I mean, it's cool. I'm glad that he's getting his shot in AEW, and I'm not hating on that. I don't dig the character. I don't dig, you know, the big long-haired bearded guy wearing a suit is just weird to me. He's a cult leader, I guess. You know, he gets mad. We call it a cult. I don't see this incarnation of the Dark Order thing lasting very long in my eyes. And like, I'm not the end all be all. My opinion is not the end all be all, but hey, that's just where I'm at with it. But all in all, I'm gonna sit down and watch Double or Nothing with my wife and enjoy it, and enjoy a nice weekend with the family, and enjoy some good old wrestling. And you know, I want to watch The Last Ride. I'll have time to actually catch up on Undertaker's Last Ride, and then hopefully I'll be able to review Double or Nothing with Hutch and maybe some of the other crew members. You know, I got a long weekend coming up. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I got enough time to do a few things. And I just wanted to put something out there for you guys, man, because it's been so long. And I do apologize for that. I really do. But, you know, family comes first, and I'm working a lot. And, you know, we just been taking care of business over here in the household. And I hope you guys have been doing the same and staying safe and staying clean and everything. And with that being said, I'm going to call this a really great episode. Just wanted to put something out there. And I think that I did kind of addressed a few things as far as the household. Talked a little dark side of the ring and hit up Double or Nothing and gave y'all that work. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, we can get to you. Guys, the In Your House Fantasy Draft is coming up, and it is going to be amazing. I can't wait to do this. Guys, what are you doing? Buy a freaking shirt. That's www.prowrestlingtees.com/inyourhouse. There's a Memorial Day sale going on, so go and get that shirt and get this work. And guys, we tell you this all the time. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because the household, well, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great weekend. Peace.